have a minute without.
Okay. Right then, we're good. We're already on. All right. Well, is it Ciaran?
Ciaran, yeah.
Ciaran, because when there's a spelling like that, I'm like, do I say, is it Ciaran? I just wanted to make sure I was getting that
There
right.
is it has got, it's supposed to have accents above it.
Yeah.
But I don't put them in.
All right, good.
It's an Irish name.
Yeah.
Like, it's how the Irish spell it, because my mum's like the family Irish. And then us English got hold of it and put a K and everything else in it. So,
Ciaran.
but it is Ciaran.
I've got, my surname's Irish as well, Morn.
Which no one can ever pronounce.
It's funny because everyone can say Vaughan, no problem. They say it's exactly the same spelling.
I'm
with
like,
a
it's
V
Vaughan,
and an
it's
M.
Vaughan with an M.
And they go, Mahachon,
McGorgan?
McGorgan? Muffin? No. It's Mom. Anyway, Ciaran, welcome, mate. How are you?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
No, mate, I really
Thanks for
appreciate you
coming
coming down. I know you've come from Yorkshire, so it wasn't you have made the most of it. I know you said you've had a little plan today. Chessington, was it World of Adventures?
Yeah, Chessington World of Adventures. Not just on my own.
I did say, I went, oh, does he must really like rides.
Just like some 40-year-old guy
Yeah.
on rides. No. I used the time wisely. You know,
Good.
I knew I was coming down, so I brought the little ones down. They're with my dad, and this morning we went to Chessington. When I sent you that message, I was like, I should really back it up if I wasn't on my own, but I thought I'll
Some
just tell you
context.
later.
Yeah. But no, I really appreciate you coming down. I actually stumbled across your page. I think it was through your podcast,
Yeah.
the Male Fertility podcast.
Yeah.
And then I messaged originally, what's his Knackers? What's his
Sean.
Sean.
Yeah.
And I had a little chat with him.
Who I've actually followed for a while.
You have, yeah.
Yeah.
And I originally asked to do some sort of swap, but it was really good to kind of get you down here and yeah, for you to make the effort. I really appreciate it. There's a lot of questions I want to ask you in terms of your journey, but we touched on it briefly before. Before we get started, for a bit of context, it'd probably be good just to give the listeners a bit of background about who you are and yeah, kind of your journey into what you're doing now, which is essentially, I think it's a male fertility PT, right? That's what you're down as on Instagram.
Yeah. So my fertility journey started 13 years ago, 13 and a half years ago, and me and my wife have been trying to get pregnant for a year. We'd started before we got married, like modern day, you know, you don't wait. We knew we were going to get married. We had the date set. So we got married in December of 2011. And then in 2012, the January, we were like, well, it hasn't happened. We better go and get checked. My wife has polycystic ovaries. So we kind of assumed and anticipated it would be that was the issue. And we went and had our tests, or she went and had her tests, I should say. And about 6 months down the line, we got to the point where they were like, yeah, we can give you Clomid and get you going, so, you know, ovulating, as you should do. Yeah. But we just check Ciaran before we get on to anything, just in case we've missed anything. And then 2 weeks later, I came back into the consult room, and they said to Jen, yeah, we can get you ovulating. They turned to me and said, oh, there's not much we can do for you, Ciaran, so we'll go straight on to ICSI.
Oh,
It was
really?
that blunt, yeah.
Wow, okay.
And obviously, like, something changed in my facial expression because they probably thought, oh, shit, he doesn't know.
No.
Because I had no knowledge that there was any issue.
Oh, wow.
Nothing. And it was a really weird conversation. That first, they were immediately, I wouldn't say backtracking, but trying to find a reason why. And they asked me if I'd ever taken steroids and things like that. Because at the time, I was quite a big guy, played a lot of rugby, but I was a big gym goer as well. I'm sure we'll get into it in a bit, but I haven't. So it quickly got moved on to the fact of, right, we need another semen analysis. And then it was like 3 months later to come back and do another one. Ultimately, that second analysis was worse than the first one.
Oh, wow. What was the period, sorry? The time?
3 months.
3 months.
3 months, yeah.
Which factors were?
Everything was bad. So I had a count of about 1,500. Motility, morphology really low. They estimated that less than 1% of it was viable. Oh. So they were saying like 15. And it kind of set me off on this journey that I was never anticipated. I didn't know what to do with initially. And I always explain my fertility journey as having two sides. There's a physical side of it, where, you know, you make all those lifestyle changes that they tell you to. But then there's the mental side of it. And the mental side of things for me was so much harder. Like, we ended up having 3 fresh cycles and two frozen before we were
3 egg collections.
Yeah, 3 egg collections before we were fortunate that my son was born. But that was over a 5-year period, and in that we had 1 straight miscarriage where around about 9-12 weeks baby died, and then we also, when on the cycle that Sebi was my son, originally we had twins on board, and we lost one of the twins, which was early. You know, it was at a 12-week period, but it was like a double-edged sword, you know, and we're getting to the emotional side of things and that. But, yeah, I really found that emotional side hard, you know, and there was always that point of, we're here, we're doing this because of me, you know, the guilt.
The blame.
The blame. And, you know, as I said, we were lucky that we, after a lot of changes that I made and soul searching, I'd say, in terms of being comfortable with who I was, because it took a lot of processing. My son was born, which is a blessing. Like, he's 9 now. Amazing. But then we went through it all again when we decided our family, we wanted to try again. Like, we felt like something was missing. And then for that we had a fresh cycle, which just didn't work at all. And then we had a couple of frozen from that, and Enya, my daughter, came from the frozen cycle. So it wasn't as troubled, but it was equally as hard.
Still long.
Yeah, it's long. And it was over the whole thing, it was about 9 years.
Wow.
That is long.
Yeah.
That's a lot. It's quite long, though.
Yeah, it's a
And
lot.
invasive as well.
Yeah.
Like, having egg collection is
It's not the most pleasant thing I've
it's-
ever kind of... Well, I was lucky enough that I was able to go in with my wife once, and I hadn't been in before with her. And
What
You
do you mean
mean for
going?
when
I
she's
hadn't-
coming round?
well,
you
when
mean?
she went in for her egg collection,
Oh,
I actually
okay.
went in for one.
I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah.
What, while they're having it done?
Yeah,
Oh my God.
I went in for one.
What's it like?
It's
Because you're asleep, you don't know what it's
Well, no,
like.
but
either.
I can't imagine seeing your partner like
terrifying.
unconscious.
Yeah. So she was sedated for it, heavily sedated. She didn't go out for it.
Okay.
But it's just like, she's there, she's uncomfortable, and once again, you can't help but have those guilts,
Yeah.
thoughts creep in. Yeah, so it's kind of like this. Like, and, you know, I'm more than happy to go into that more psychological side of it, how I really felt at certain points and that. But it was tough. It was tough. And luckily I found, like, midway through it, I found my love for exercise again, because I fell out of love with exercise for a while, just because I was almost like self-punishing myself. I wasn't worthy of anything. And that helped me through really hard times. Started training again.
It definitely, exercise is a huge help for all sorts of things. That was one of my first questions, was going to be, you looked at your lifestyle. So what sort of things did you feel like you needed, or you did change?
Well, the first thing we made the changes to was like our diet. Mm-hmm. We didn't eat horrendously, but we really prioritised eating like organic foods. Mm-hmm. And then I changed the way I was exercising.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, and I changed it from like just real heavy weights, because that's all I really wanted to do.
Yeah.
And like really, really intense, high intensity training.
Like high intensity cardio.
Yeah. I reduced that. I started running again, but then I only kept my runs because, you know, going back 13 years ago, there's not much on the internet about, you know, fertility exercise. But I kind of gave myself that time to exercise. Mm-hmm. But I kept all my runs down to around 40 minutes. Because, you know,
Stop you from overheating.
Stop you overheating and stops in that oxidizing stress climbing up too high. So yeah, I kept the weights in terms of, I still wanted to lift heavy because that's what I enjoyed doing.
Yeah.
But I kind of made everything a bit more like shorter.
Yeah.
In a sense, so I wasn't spending like an hour and
Not
half in the
destroying
gym.
yourself.
Yeah, I was just 45 minutes and out, you know.
Yeah.
And I just started running, and it was one of the best decisions I ever made. I used to love like downhill mountain biking, but obviously all the research at the time was saying you shouldn't ride a bike.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just because you're sitting on your
I guess
balls.
it's the pressure,
basically.
isn't it? And all sorts.
Downhill as well. That's very high impact,
Yeah.
isn't it, on your
It is, yeah.
your gonads?
You know, literally wrong turn, and I could have been in a lot of trouble.
100%.
So I kind of stopped riding completely. I know now that's probably not what I should have done, because I think it affected me mentally, because I used to love it so much. I mean, I lost a social circle, which in itself was hard. But I started to run, so I could still have that kind of time away in my own head. In terms of exercise, still kept me lifting weights, but not as long or intense. And now I just started to run, and it was the best thing I ever did.
What I also wanted to touch on, which you mentioned there, was the mental side of things. And again, one of the reasons I wanted to speak to you, because since me and Eleanor have kind of started this path of wanting to help other people or just create value for people who are maybe stuck in the fertility space, there's not many men. I haven't seen many men speaking openly. You actually mentioned it before we started. Men don't tend to want to talk about this. Or men don't really want to talk about their emotions in general. That's just as a generalization, right? Yeah. But when it comes to fertility, it's a very personal thing. Yeah. It's a very, very intimate and personal thing. And when I saw your page and I saw your podcast, I loved it, because it was refreshing to see men openly talking about these things on a public platform. Yeah. And now I'm kind of doing it with Eleanor, but from the male perspective, it's a completely different journey. You know, you mentioned helplessness. I'm sure you feel the same, especially when you went for that egg collection, or when Eleanor would go and do these injections or whatever it was. I'm just kind of there. Yeah. And there's nothing I can do. I can't do physically anything. And men like to do. Men like to do things and get stuff done. But in this process, you almost are an emotional support animal in a way. Do you know what I mean? That's how I kind of felt a lot of the time. I was like, all I could do is be there for Eleanor, but not an awful lot more. And the process is joint, but physically you can't do anything. So I assume, I'm not assuming, but is that kind of your experience as well?
It was for the first 2 fresh cycles, all right? And it's because I had this perception of I couldn't do anything, when actually just being there is doing something, you know, actually just being present. So for the first 2 fresh cycles for my son, or before my son was born, I didn't go to any kind of appointments, nothing. I really leaned out. It was just too much for me. And in itself left me isolated in the whole thing. Okay. Like Jen was there to support me, you know, and she would do if we ever went through it again, you know. And but what I found was, when I actually acknowledged the fact that there was more I can do, once, including like my lifestyle, what we just talked about, there's things I can control, but I can also control how I feel about everything we're going through, and part of that is being proactive in it. So for that third fresh cycle that we went through, even though it wasn't successful, my approach was different. I went to every appointment. I tried to do the injections when I could, like, because I was busy working, so I was trying to be more present, talking about how I felt, and it helped. You know, just that change of mindset. Helped me, but it also helped Jen. Like, I was suddenly in the room, you know, rather than a guy who was burying his head and getting deeper down this rabbit hole. So yeah, I think it's the concept of being acceptance of the situation, processing it, and understanding of there's more you can do. You're more useful than you think you are, and you're in more control more than you think you are. Like,
it just doesn't feel like it. I think at the time, in the moment, you feel.
You feel helpless.
Yeah, you feel helpless. You can't help yourself. You can't help your partner.
But even now, like, yes, you cannot do the pregnancy bit, but you do the washing, and you'll take
Yeah.
Luna for a walk, and you'll do the cooking. And
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You'll, you do come to appointments. You come to every single appointment, actually. And it's all of those things which help. Because like yesterday, I was no use to anybody, and you did everything yesterday. And I couldn't have cooked for myself yesterday. I felt horrendous. And it's all those little things which do add up, and they mean a lot. So,
But it just doesn't feel like it in the moment.
No. I get
It
it.
doesn't. But I think it was a few years ago now. I've forgotten what podcast I was listening to, but someone was like, well, what's it feel like to be brave? It doesn't feel great to feel brave.
Actually, no, that's a good point.
You know?
You don't think it feels great to be brave?
No, it doesn't. When you're actually being brave, it doesn't feel great.
No.
It doesn't feel like you're doing anything.
No, I get that.
What you'll be doing is inside you might be a nervous wreck, real high anxiety, worried about what the outcome is.
Yeah.
But it's only the aftermath. Someone, well, that was brave. It's the same with fertility treatment for men. Like just being present and doing the things that you know will help, and try and be as, I always say, as useful as possible, because sometimes there's nothing you can do. Is actually exactly what you need to do.
Yeah.
You know, and then your partner will turn around and go, "Oh, Ciaran was great because he was just there," and that's what I found out.
Have said that.
It was changing that thought process.
The mind perspective.
Yeah.
Just being there.
But sorry, go on. You were going to ask something there.
No.
You said you would go into the psychological side of things. I'd like you
to know about that.
Touch upon that, because obviously I've got my experience, but that's just like one anecdotal experience, right? Yeah. But I'd like to hear a bit more about your journey in that personal headspace, like what you meant when you were talking about the psychological effects of this journey, whether it's the fresh cycles or the frozen, everything from that whole 9-year thing. Like, what toll did that take on you psychologically?
A massive one.
Yeah.
A massive one. And it was like, imagine you got a bucket. You know, there's a saying that when your bucket or your bottle's full, it will overflow.
Yeah.
It was just continuous drops into it. And initially, like it's a little bit, you don't really notice it. But then as it gets nearer to the top, you can feel it, like generally feel it in your chest. Like every second of every day, this horrendous guilt. When I first got diagnosed, the first part of it was denial. Like it was like,
I felt that.
Yes, it's amazing. Like
it's like, no way.
It's not me.
Yeah.
It's not me at all. Yeah, and then it's, I remember having an argument with a consultant telling him he's got it wrong. I look at it now, or kind of a nod and eye. Like generally,
I understand it though.
But what it is, it's the biggest attack on my male identity I've ever had, and probably will ever have.
Yeah,
you know, we grow up in a society that says men can do this, this, and this, and at the top of the list, it's have loads of kids. You know, naturally have loads of kids. Yeah. You know, just look at girls and they're falling pregnant.
Yeah.
If only that were true.
But suddenly, you know, literally within a conversation, even if I don't believe it at the time, the question mark's thrown in. Right, this might not be happening.
Yeah.
And then that sent me down, just a absolute warren of emotional states. You know, there was the guilt. First of all, there was the denial. Then there was the guilt. Then there was the shame. Then there was the fear. But you didn't just go nicely plateaued through it. You go backwards and forth because something else would trigger another emotion or trigger another trauma, because it is all trauma. So I gradually got lower and lower and lower to the point where I didn't socialise. I didn't go down the rugby club. I wasn't biking anymore. I wasn't doing anything that I previously loved to do. Like literally, friends would ring me, I'd just ignore them. You know, and I was a really social guy. I loved socialising, loved being out with people. And it got to the point, and I've talked about it on the podcast, where I just didn't want to be here anymore. Like I was ready to end it, done. And it's hard. Even now, I can feel it, you know. But I'm lucky that I've got my amazing wife, who one day sat down with me and said, we need to sort this out, because she'd seen what was going on. Yeah. The only way I can describe how I felt was, I was laying on the floor and I just couldn't get up. Like the world was pushing me down. And there were days where I used to lay on the floor. We had this bit in our flat at the time, where you go into the front room and then there was the kitchen. It was split, but it was open, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I used to lay on the floor, so I didn't know what to fucking do. And I'd cry, I'd sit there, I just like didn't know. And it was hard, but it wasn't like it wasn't suddenly, oh, I feel depressed. It happened over time, like gradually. And it didn't get better until I started talking about it. And that's why I talk about it now, and that's why me and Ciaran started the podcast. If one guy puts his headphones in and listens to us and thinks, I'm not on my own, it's all right, job done. I just don't want anyone to feel like I felt, because it was horrendous. But at the same time, I look back on it now, and that shit show that I went through made me who I am today and gave me the strength to be able to support other guys. I wouldn't purposely choose to go through it again. I wouldn't be like, yeah, I want to go through that again. But I don't regret anything. It's in the past. That's in the past. I'm not there now. I'm moving forward. So
you're making something out of
a
bad situation.
I'm trying to make something positive. I'm making something positive out of the worst situation I've ever been through.
Yeah, definitely.
And then it's worth it,
Yeah.
It's such a paradox, isn't it? We talk about paradoxes all the time. We talked to your sister about, I love a paradox, but it's that thing of, I wouldn't change it because it has made me the person I am today, but I would never wish it on my worst enemy.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't want to relive it again, but I wouldn't change it. And
we're taking from it.
Absolutely. It's how
taking so many things from like that lovely life lesson. Like, when am I going to figure out what the life lesson is from this journey, and then spinning it into something helpful and worthwhile.
Yeah.
Sometimes that comes years down the line.
Oh yeah,
100%.
It does, and you know what? That's fine. Sometimes people never get a reason or anything. They don't get a purpose from something. It's just something you go through.
Yeah.
I do feel myself lucky in terms of what I do now. I love what I do now, and I love talking to all the guys and all the girls as well. Just the interactions I have, it's amazing. But I really had to go through a hard road to get there. And I'm always about positivity in terms of moving forward. I talk about it when people want me to. It kind of pulls, even sitting here, I can feel it just dragging up a bit. But for me now, it's about what positivity can I bring out of this?
Definitely.
And sometimes you have to kind of visit those old roads, old paths, just to kind of get the point across.
Of course.
But ultimately, we're moving forward, and that's the important thing. Because I wouldn't say a fear is, I'm aware that it sits there,
It doesn't leave.
It doesn't leave.
I don't think it ever will, though.
I think, I kind of think sometimes I think about it as like a little gremlin I keep in a cage. But it's a really important part of me. And I can't lose it, because it keeps my feet grounded and keeps me realistic, keeps me driven, but it has been a long path and a dusty road as well, Be tough.
When on your Instagram page, do you get quite a lot of men sort of private messaging you? And that must feel like, I don't know, it's just how I feel when we get a message. Sometimes it's more from actually people I know, not good friends, but acquaintances or sort of people you've just known over the years, and you get a message and you just think, oh God, how many people are actually going through this and not speaking about it, and for whatever reason, they just don't feel like they can, and they're suffering in silence. It makes me feel really sad. Do you find it heavy?
When I started sharing my story and that, I found I kept going back to that place, because you can't help it. You're continuously talking about something you found traumatic. But now I look at it as I'm there to help them. I don't get as emotionally down about it anymore. I try and stay positive about it. There's also that view of it. Oh, yeah, this is working. Like people are engaging, and men are coming out. Like every day, we get messages, whether that's through the PT or through the podcast, Instagram, or just emails, messages, everything. And it just, it keeps your feet on the ground. You know, like we are doing.
You're doing the right
thing here.
You are, because that's how I found your page or your pages, right? You and Sean. Obviously, we're doing this in a very similar way.
Yeah.
We're doing it as a married couple, but you guys are doing it as two lads. Seeing your page and seeing your podcast, and then also seeing that you were linked to Ian and a few other things, like a few connected like mutual friends, it made me feel less alone.
Yeah.
Even though I'm obviously I'm trying to be more of a public person on this topic now because of our journey, but just seeing your page and seeing other men talk openly about it, that made me feel like comforted.
Yeah.
And so how many other men have you touched in the same way, And there'll be loads of people who don't send you a message, who see your
Who's
content,
finding it helpful.
listen to a podcast, like you said, put them headphones in and go,
Yeah.
I'm not on my own.
Yeah.
That's a powerful thing to be involved with.
Yeah, it feels good, and it does feel good. And it's literally that I know that there's guys out there that aren't on their own. It's got nothing to do with my personal enjoyment of it or anything. I'm just like, you've done something that's been beneficial to someone. Because I wish there would have been people like you guys and us, just when I was going through it. There was no men.
I was going to say, what did you? Because if it was a little while ago,
I went to therapy.
That's
probably
all there was.
Yeah,
this whole space, I feel, because obviously back then there wasn't Instagram,
no, nothing.
Maybe MySpace or something, but there wasn't all of these places to sort of go to and find information and stuff. So you went to a therapist.
Yeah.
Did you find that helpful?
Yeah.
What sort of therapy, if you want me asking?
I just went to a fertility therapist through. We were having our treatment at Bourne Hall.
That's not in Norwich, is it?
It's in. Where is it?
I recognise that name.
No, where is it? I've forgotten. It's like in Bedfordshire or somewhere.
Is it Norfolk way?
Oh, I'm rubbish with.
Me too.
I could drive you there.
I feel
this shows
like I know it.
My wife was like, "Well, this is what's going on."
Yeah,
just go.
Yeah.
Go there.
Yeah.
Do it.
I mean, I could ring and talk to people at Bourne Hall, but I don't know where it is in terms of exactly on the map. Jackie Stewart was my.
Oh, did they provide it through IVF?
Yeah,
we had the same.
We had our lady was
Tracy.
lovely. Tracy was amazing. We got like so many sessions included as part of.
Sainsbury.
Yes, I think so.
She's been on the podcast.
Oh my god, she's amazing.
I actually haven't even told her that we're having a baby.
We should tell
I
her.
need to email
Tell
her.
She'll be over the moon.
Last time I had a session with her was in December, maybe.
Oh, you had one after me, but we did them together. Did we do one together? Then we did one
together,
separately.
and we did them separately.
She was amazing. She was. Sorry to digress a little bit, but she was just so real. Like she wasn't trying to sugarcoat anything. She wanted to just really listen to you like a proper human being. It wasn't like she was trying to coach you.
Not our cup of tea therapists.
No. Yeah. But they all can't be your cup of tea, right?
You've got to find the right.
You've got to find the right one. But sorry. So the therapy.
So Jackie Stewart.
Jackie Stewart.
She, funnily enough, was Sean's therapist as well, but we didn't know.
And did you know each other then?
No, because they had treatment at Bourne Hall too, and we didn't know.
Oh.
So he had his treatment 2018. And that was earlier. So, but it's funny how our paths kept crossing.
There's a reason.
But we didn't know each other.
Wow.
But we had her on the podcast as well because obviously we've got that connection. So we pulled her in and had this discussion. But my first session, I sat there. I didn't say anything.
Did you not?
No.
So what happened? Because usually
you're
supposed to.
Jen came with me, and we kind of had a joint session.
Oh, okay.
But I just needed to go and trust it. I didn't trust the situation.
Had you done it before? Any kind of therapy? Okay.
No,
it's a bit scary when you first ever do it.
Yeah. It was peculiar. It's pretty like that.
Yeah.
And then the next session, I went along and I sat and cried for 45 minutes. Just cried and cried. And it just all came out, boom.
But you felt lighter after
and
that?
I left and I felt like, I felt lighter. I felt lighter, I felt good. And then I went back, I had 6 in total. And each time I went back, I said a bit more. And by the end of it, I was ready to face the world, and everything changed. That positive view came out, where actually I am in more control than I thought I was. But a lot came out from that, So me and my dad now have an amazing relationship, but when I was growing up, we didn't. And what I longed for was to correct the things the mistakes he made. And that was one of the demons in my head about not being able to have kids. I'll never be able to correct this. But it all came out in the therapy. And I was able to address it, process it, and move on a stronger individual, So it did more than just get me ready for therapy, get ready for fertility treatment. It sorted out the muddle that was in my head, and which was causing everything else that was happening, the way I felt, what I wanted to do, and it all came together. But the therapy helped massively. Yeah,
I'm glad we've talked about that, because I tried all sorts of different therapy, CBT, did counselling, joint and singular. I did hypnotherapy. I just did loads of different things on this journey, all for different things. But therapy, in some way, shape, or form, helped me along that way. And there was moments where it got so built up. I think you kind of described it in a similar way, like it just kind of bubbles and bubbles, and then you said that second session, it all just came out. And it does, like, it just, when it's ready to, or when you're ready to release, it just came at the right time for me. But it was hugely helpful, because you're going through this together. Some things I don't want to. You okay, darling? Your back hurting?
Yeah, good.
We should have got you a little cushion to go behind your back.
I need like a full-on lazy boy. Lay down.
Lift your legs up. Sometimes, as much as we actually got so much closer through this experience. I'll probably ask you the same question if it was the same experience for you, but we became so strong that
you and me.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, no, more so than we already were. We were a really great team.
Sorry, anyway. I thought you were going to say no, we haven't. I was like,
no.
Whoa!
No, we were a really great team.
We were a good team, but it can make up. I think these situations can make or break a couple.
Oh God, 100%.
I've heard of couples who've gone through this. Like, there's friends of mine in Manchester who were together for like 9 years and then went to 2-3 rounds of IVF and then they just broke up. I'm not going to mention them on here. I'll mention them afterwards. You do know them though.
Yes, no, I know. I just can't think of them.
And it can make or break, and it really made us. But at the same time, as close as we were in this dilemma, there's some things I just didn't want to talk to Eleanor about. Like, I didn't want to put any more on her. Because she's got her own stuff going on in her head and body. Like, she's got this whole physical and mental thing going on. And I didn't want to sit there and tell her certain things about how I was feeling, because it was just an extra burden for her. And it's true though, because you're also then going to counselling and having those sessions, and I just felt that it was super helpful for me. So for anyone listening who potentially is thinking about doing that, that's why I wanted to mention it. Like, just try it. It might not be for you, but
worth trying.
It's worth a shot. It really is.
I think, and it's all right to, I mean, you've mentioned it, if you don't get on with a therapist or something like that, it's okay to go, this isn't working for me. This isn't working for me.
Same for them with you.
Yeah, and they may do it to you. If it doesn't gel, you have to be completely comfortable. I was really lucky where the first one I tried, I fell on my feet. And it was the right person. Now, if I'd been going there for other reasons, it might not have worked, you know, but she was what I wanted and needed at that moment. But it definitely affects a relationship immensely. Like, there was, me and Jen sat down and had a clear conversation, and I said to her, look, you can leave if you want a child. I can't give you one. You can go. And she was like, I don't want a child with anyone else. You know, she didn't marry me just so she could have children. She married me for me. And that was one of the most important conversations we ever had, because I literally was like, you can pat your bag and go, I won't hold it against you. I understand. You want to be a mum. I can't give you that. Or my perception was I couldn't give her that. Now doing what I do, I know there's many paths to parenthood.
That was going to be a question. Would you have considered other avenues?
I think it would have taken extra levels of processing. And that's why I think like Ciaran would be a great guest to have on at some point, because he's been through this and it's very openly talks about it. But we had floated the idea of what if we needed sperm donation, and at that moment in time the barrier was up. It was a clear no. If it can't be mine, my biological child, I'm not interested. And I think that was my natural defense, like just system kicking in. I think now I would definitely be open for that conversation, because it takes more than DNA to be a good dad, and to to do the right thing and to be the man that I would have needed to be, So it can affect a relationship.
But it sounds like to me, from what you've just said, your perspective on fatherhood changed obviously once your children arrived. So the sperm donor was a straight up no, but once you had children, that perspective changed? Or
in some aspects. But also I met guys like Ciaran, who've been through it.
He had to do sperm donation.
Yeah, his children are from sperm donation.
Yeah.
So he hasn't got any biological DNA link. And he loves them as much as I love my kids, and they love him just as much. And there's no link. Like the DNA doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's about how you are, and how you treat people, how you treat the children, how you bring them up. It's. But I had that's one of the things we're doing with Nexus community that we have. It's about showing guys, putting guys in a room together, in a community together, where they can see these other men that have been through similar journeys and had success out of it, and they can have a place to talk and communicate and be open about it, because that's what I would have needed if we'd had to go down that line.
Yeah.
I think, in all honesty, I think we would have gone down the adoption route, but that's because my wife, her sister's adopted. So I've had that kind of experience. So that would have been probably the more natural route for me. But I definitely think I would have been, with a bit more processing, a bit more time, I would have been open to other options, yeah. But initially I wouldn't have been.
No. I thought about it. I definitely thought, when the onus was put on me at that one point, where it was almost like a, not blame ping pong, but it was almost passed from you to me to you to me through the 4 years. There wasn't one moment where, like, for example, you, Ciaran, it was like I'm the problem. That's that, not in those words, but the issue, like with you and your sperm. For us, it was
both.
It was Eleanor had found something, and then it was my DNA fragmentation. Then I got that sorted. Then it was Eleanor found PCOS, so it was her, and then it was my DNA frag was back low again. So it was just like to and fro. So there was never any point where I thought, "Oh, it's definitely me." I have to think, is there another solution? I think adoption maybe came before the idea of having a sperm donor. I think there's something very emasculating for me, like at the time when we're, in those first 3 or 4 years of like, I don't know if I can handle that.
No, and I felt the same. And I think it was when I'd gone to a yoga retreat last year, and I was I needed to go and like be at peace, because we'd been through so much, and I think really at a stage where I was like, I don't know if I can do this anymore. Like, this has gone on for a long time now, and I don't know how much more of it I can deal with. And I had some Reiki with and some reflexology, and this lady afterwards, she said, you're holding on to so much. I would really like it if you could go and journal, and you need to think and be at peace and write how your life would look without a child and how your life would look with one.
I remember when you came
And
back
be at
and
peace,
showed me
and
about
be at peace with both.
that.
And, you know, just, and I've always said this to you, like, you are enough. Like, even if a family didn't come, like, we've been together for nearly 12 years.
Yeah.
And, like, I love you more than anything, and you would be enough if that's how it was meant to be.
I remember that conversation. It was I was surprised because I never thought I'd hear those words come out your mouth, because ever since we've been together, you've always shown a very strong interest
since I was a little girl, I've always wanted to have a baby. But I think when you've gone through like the journey like we have, I just felt like I was like, I can't do that anymore.
We're tired.
I was like, that's exactly it. I was like, I'm tired. I'm done. Like, and I'm sick of my life being consumed by this, and it being the only thing that I really sort of think about and put at the forefront of my mind. Like, I want to go and live again, which we did, which was the best thing to go and do for a bit. Like, just, you know, go and do some different things and travel more. And
we after our second miscarriage, we took an 18-month break completely. The main thing was to reset my mental health. Yeah. But it's exactly what you just said. I just wanted peace in my head for a bit, because there just wasn't. It wasn't. And like those feelings that you've just said, I think it's important, because people will be listening to. That's a completely normal thing, you know. And like when Bubby's born, you'll go through other things and be like, "Is this normal to feel like that?"
It'll never be quiet again.
It will be, you know.
Of course.
But it's that. I think as men, we beat ourselves up a lot about how we're feeling, when actually if we just talk to other guys, you'd find that most men feel exactly the same way. Ground. Like if someone walked into a room and said, you can't have kids, but you can have a sperm donor, most men will go, I need time to think about that. That doesn't feel right. Yeah. That's a completely normal thing. You just need time to process it, like we do in all things that happen in our lives. Yeah. We put so much on ourselves to kind of think, I must have the answer right now. Yeah. Well, no, you don't need that. You don't need the answer all the time straight away. You're allowed to take the time. But it feels like, especially with something like IVF, you don't feel like you've got the time.
That is not an instant answer either.
Yeah, it moves so quick. But yeah, I just want to make sure that guys that are listening to this know that the feelings that they're feeling are completely justified for them. That's how they feel. And it's completely normal, like, to have these different thoughts. The important thing is to get support processing them. Just talk to other guys about it. But taking that first step is so hard. Like, so hard. Because you're fearful of judgment. You're fearful of being rejected from friendship groups. And what generally happens is you're going to your group of mates, and they'll make a joke and laugh about it, and then you feel like, oh, no one's going to listen if they're not going to listen. But it's not because they don't want to listen. They don't know how to process the information you just gotten.
We don't understand unless you're in it. Like when you came into this room before and we sat down and talked, in the first 30 seconds, the energy that you brought on this topic was so different to anyone I've spoke to who I know. Yeah. Like,
it's because none of them have
It's because they haven't experienced it. And we talked about this on Bear Chat. We talked about when we went into this, you're going in blind. You haven't got a clue what you're about to deal with. So I wouldn't expect my friends who've had 2 kids after trying for 1 month each time to understand what it's like to feel this way. Yeah. Like, it's so foreign to them. But I can tell straight away speaking to you today that you've been through it, even in like seconds, you know. But also then that comes with the trauma of gone through it, processing that, the shame, the guilt, all that stuff. That's what gives off that energy. Yeah. But you are right. It's okay to feel any reflexed emotion. That's natural. Yeah. Yeah. It's how you process it afterwards, which I suppose you don't really know until you're in the thick of it.
No.
You don't know.
And there's enough avenues of support now that if you don't know what to do, reach out to someone, you know. that's generally what me and Sean are trying to do with what we're doing.
Yeah.
You know, if we're the first port of call and can go, right, talk to this person, we've done our job. You know, if someone goes, oh, now I can move on, I can at least take that first step. But I actually found, like, when I spoke to my friends, like my real close friends, like, going to talk to your mates down the pub about it when everyone's gone down there for a beer on a Friday probably isn't the best thing to do. You're going to get that laugh and that joke.
Absolutely, yeah.
But everyone's got like that 2 or 3 friends that they're solid, especially men. It might even just be one, because we have a big pack, but we only trust a few. So I look at it. Right? You talk to them quietly, and you'll be surprised how people respond.
Yeah,
you really will. Like I spoke to my good mate Andy. He's godfather to my son now, and I said, look, this has happened. This is after like all the suicide stuff and things. And he was like, why didn't you come to me? I said, well, I didn't think you want to listen. He goes, well, I don't know what to say. I wouldn't know what to say, but I'll listen.
Yeah.
I can't say anything. I can't exactly what you've just explained. He cannot relate. But all he was the years that I needed, or I should have had at the time. So talk to your friends, because they'll surprise you. Like, they really will.
You never did that.
I didn't.
That we don't.
I didn't know. Some of my friends had. I'm not going to mention names. If they do listen to this and know who they are, but some of my friends fell pregnant instantly.
Yeah.
Some of my friends also have had miscarriages. So you've got this, like, I don't want to speak to them, people who've had a loss, because I feel like they don't want to revisit that energy, revisit that moment in their life, because that's painful for them, and I know how painful it is for me. And then also the friend who's fallen pregnant straight away, I'm like, I think I'm going to feel shit as soon as I see it, because I'm going to feel so less than them. It's just a thought. It's not real. I'm not actually less than them. But that's how I'd feel about speaking it. So I held it in. But when you just mentioned that, it's so true. Like, you spoke to your friend and he was the ease that you needed. That is the definition of therapy. When you speak to a therapist, they're not telling you anything. They're literally just leading the conversation and letting you talk. They don't teach or lecture or anything. That is the job of a therapist. So yeah, I think maybe obviously hindsight's 20/20, right? But it is true. I mean, this is great for the lads who are listening who haven't spoke to their friends. If you are hearing this, speak to them, because Ciaran is right.
Somebody.
I speak to someone. Doesn't matter if it's a therapist, a friend, whatever. Open up. I mean, listen. Let's talk about Nexus, because I want to know why. I mean, I obviously know why you started it, but like, let's talk about like the inception of that and where that started.
That started, well, when was it? It was, I text Sean like 2.5 years ago, and I was like, do you fancy doing a podcast? Right, and that was the first step for us to go to do Nexus, because what we found was, as you've highlighted earlier, people were contacting us. Groups of guys were contacting us saying, thanks for this. Partners were contacting us, and we were getting this following of people. And it doesn't, I don't think, like, if you look at social media, it doesn't reflect the amount of people that actually listen to the podcast, because I think it's very, for men, it's almost like a hidden shame. Like, they don't want to talk about it, but if they click on the follow button, it becomes public that they're interested.
Yes.
So
people might not want that.
It's hard, it's really hard. So what we were finding is that loads and loads of people were talking and communicating with us. So after a while, we were like, we need to do more. There's a whole group of men that aren't engaging with us on social media or even sending emails and stuff like that, because it's that confidence thing. Yeah. But if we provided this well-supported, safe place, would that be the changing point?
A physical safe place, not just an online.
Yeah. So, but it was initially, obviously Nexus is an online platform, and we've got people from all over the world on it. But it was initially that idea of, right, let's create a safe place for men, where it's just men, and they can come and have that conversation, and be the trusted place where they just put out a quote, I'm feeling like this. How did anyone else feel like this? And it's just rapidly grown. Like, we're doing amazing. Like, it was, so yeah, to answer your question, it came from the podcast, and we had people following us and kind of interacting with us, and it was like, well, how can we, make this bigger and make this better for the support that the guys need? What did we wish we had?
Yeah, that's it.
And that's it. It's something as simple as that. There's no like magic science behind it. It's literally like, what do we wish we'd had? What do these guys need? When they need a community, they need a platform where they can come and they can talk and be open without fear of judgment, without fear of criticism, without all of that. So that's where we started.
Amazing.
We only launched in April.
Yeah.
Numbers are looking good, and we get regular. Or we've just had we do regular meets, but we did our first in-person meet last Wednesday.
Yeah, I saw.
How did it
It went
go?
amazing, yeah.
Where did you do it?
Yeah, Camden.
Nice.
Camden, yeah.
And did you go for food or
No,
coffee,
we
or?
rented out a like a function room in a pub,
Oh, cool.
and we just me and Sean got there about 6:45, and we knew people said they were going to come, but it was like
There's always that like, what if?
nervousness.
Yeah.
I remember looking at him, and like, what if we're just
Yeah.
like, he was like, Sean's very, very positive, like super positive. He's like, just trust the process, it'll be fine. And I'm sat there, I'm like, I'm a bit nervous about this, mate. He's like, it's all good, man. What it will be, will be.
Oh.
And we had 16 guys turn up.
Wicked.
15,
That's
16
really
guys turn up.
Awesome.
And it was a beautiful moment. Like, just talking openly. We talked about fertility. We were talking about the football. We were talking about everything, like guys would. And we just chopped in between each other, and then like you dipping in and out of conversations. It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. It's something like I've definitely not experienced before in terms of being in a room with that many guys going through the same similar struggles, and just being so open. And the messages we got afterwards and stuff was phenomenal.
So you'll do it again?
I would do it again. Yeah.
Excellent.
We are going to do it again.
I got to go to the next one for sure. If it's down here,
Come
100%.
along, yeah, 100%.
I'd love to. Yeah, definitely.
But that's the thing. Like, for us, it's about a community for all men. That are just you've been through it. Come and talk your experiences, because your experience, for maybe 9 out of 10 guys, they'd be like, they'd listen and give you but for that one guy, it'd be like, that's what I needed to hear.
Yeah.
That's what it's about, isn't it?
Yeah.
But Nexus is doing well. It's we're busy because obviously do the webinars, and we do. Sean's hosting a panel tonight that I couldn't be there, which is going to go great. But busy.
Amazing. Oh no, it's great. I saw it, and I think I saw the post that you guys had shared at the live meetup. It was only maybe a few days ago, and I was just like, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I've got some friends who've been or are still in recovery, or been through alcoholism or drug addiction or whatever, and I've seen the impact of them kind of finding. It works for some people, but just finding that room, whether it's that or something else, of just you're around other people who feel the same, who are going through something similar, and they find comfort in that.
Yeah.
And then I saw what you guys were doing, and I was like, what an incredible thing to actually have that many men in one place, all feeling probably left there feeling so relieved that they're just not on their own. We're doing what we're doing on the online space. You've obviously done the online thing as well, and they've got the podcast, but people in a room is different. It's completely different.
Yeah, it's completely different. And our first one got 15. The aim is to keep growing it.
Of course.
And we want to.
You will.
It's about those small, realistic steps. We've done one. It went amazing. What have we learned from that? What can we move on? We've got some big plans for Nexus, and we're looking forward to that growing over the next few years. And it will change. Like, we have plans now, and I think that's one of the things that is hard about fertility treatment. You can't change the plan. Like, the plan is what it is, and it's like sometimes it feels do or die. But with Nexus, we've got that flexibility, and it will, and we just listen to what the guys want. Because me and Sean often say it to each other, like, Nexus came from, we've sorted out the logistics of it, but it's not our community, it's the guys' community. We want them to lead what happens, and because we're two guys that had experiences. We're not, 100, 1,000 guys, 10,000 guys that would be in a community that could potentially go, well, have you thought about this?
Yeah,
we want them to lead the way.
Community.
You want the feedback and
completely.
What could we do?
Yeah.
To help.
Yeah, because you can't be ignorant enough to think, I've experienced it all.
Oh my God.
Because I've had conversations with guys, and I've come away from the conversation thinking, jeez, that is a lot.
But there are so many layers. There's so many layers to it.
Yeah.
There's a lady that I follow called the Fertility Detective.
Oh yeah.
And she does I've actually done one of her online courses. She does the most incredible Q&As, and she's so thorough with her answers. But some of these things that people write in, like, I've got this and this, or I've had this and these are my results, and you just think, oh my God, like, it's wild how many issues, for one, people are having these days. Just the different cases, and that, just like what you've just said, there isn't one experience, there are so many. So a lot of different people to be helped.
There was a woman who commented on our TikTok the other day, and she said, can you tell me when you got your PCOS diagnosis? I've had 26 miscarriages in 7 years. And I was just like, what? Like, that I couldn't process that. I was like, we're talking about our experience having the miscarriages that we've had, but, and I'm not saying there's not competition, but like 26 losses in 7 years. I'm like, how is that person still?
How have
still
they?
going?
And also, how have they not had the help to figure out what that is?
Yeah.
Well, that'd be my first question.
Yeah, of course, but
but
experience is all different.
What you're getting at there is that there's so many people out there who've had things, and I really struggled mentally, but ultimately it was successful. Where there are many people out there that are still in the trenches, have been through it and not been successful.
And who might not be.
And they might not be. They might not be. And not in the way that they perceive to be.
In that way, down the path that they were hoping.
Yeah, and I think that's one narrative that me and Sean really want to bring to the table, is that it's about processing stuff, and there are other routes. But as we talked about, like, when one door looks like it's shutting, in terms of, like, you're not going to have your own biological child, it's a lot to then get on the next step to take the next journey, and it takes time. But there are different routes, and you just kind of got to go with the flow sometimes, even though it's incredibly, it sounds very relaxed, but do you know what I mean? It's like,
not when the flow is coming at you.
You've got to kind of just take one step at a time.
100%.
Because you can't, it's out of your control sometimes.
Well, for any men who are listening to this, who have maybe felt any emotion or have related to anything we spoke about today, please tell everyone where they can find you, the podcast, Nexus, all that stuff. Like, where do they find that? Where do you find you guys?
Well, you can find it all on Instagram. Like, Instagram, like, it's the main place to go, isn't it? Yeah. Like, we are the generation that are using it. So if you wanted me, it's the Male Fertility PT. I always get podcast and PT. It's too many P's. That. If you want the podcast, it's the Male Fertility Podcast.
Brilliant podcast, by the way. Please, you guys got to check it out.
Thank you. It's we put a lot of effort into it. Really thought about what we would have wanted. It all comes down to what we think people want. And then for Nexus, obviously Nexus Fertility, that's on there as well. But you can also go to www.Nexus Fertility, and Nexus is spelled Nexys. Put the X and a Y in there for the men. Fertility.com. And obviously Knackered Knackers is Sean. It's one of the best Instagram handles ever.
Yeah.
I don't know how he come up with it.
It's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. Look, we're talking about it and laughing, so it works.
But yeah. So, in terms of a PT type of thing, I specialise in preparing guys for fertility treatment.
Amazing.
And it's just putting a bit of structure into things.
Yeah.
There's certain things you should and shouldn't do. It depends on where you are in your journey, all that kind of stuff, And then there's the podcast, which is that first port of call. If you're looking for a bit of support, you can literally stick your headphones in and
away
go for a go. And Nexus, if you're ready to jump into a community that there's to support with no judgment, we're just there to listen and to support where we can. That's the next point of call. So it's kind of a slow development, but all important stages. But people are listening to this and they'll be at different stages. So that's really important, because not everyone's ready just to jump straight in and have big conversations with a community.
No,
But if they want to send me a message, I'll have a conversation with them. It's really important. They've got someone.
Amazing. Ciaran, thank you so much for coming down and talking about all the topics you've spoke about today. I really appreciate your heart and sleeve approach, your honesty, and everything you're doing is kind of, you're giving us a lot of inspiration in what we're doing, because what we want to try and do is create value from our story and let people know that they can be they can be seen, they can be heard, they can do it anonymously, they can go somewhere where they don't feel alone. And you're basically doing exactly that. And I know what you're going to be doing, especially with Nexus going forward, is going to help a lot of men, because I wish I'd found you 3 or 4 years ago when I needed it.
Yeah, cheers.
So keep doing what you're doing, and we really appreciate you coming down.
Thank you.
That means a lot. Thank you for your support.
Thanks.
Thanks,
everyone.
guys.